What it do?
What it do, baby?
You have a good week?
The week is starting off well.
Do you work remote?
I can. So I take more. I do more of like a hybrid thing. So Mondays and Fridays I work from home, and then middle of the week I go into the office.
It's actually nice, staggered a little bit. Something new.
Yeah. Plus, like it helps because like when I'm at home, I don't have like my my office completely set up. So I need to I need to change out my my docking station so that way it fits for the work laptop that I have. Because right now I'm just working off of a laptop, and it's hard to get shit done when you need like two monitors.
Dude, I'm in the same boat, bro. You need it. Like if I had to
adulting.
Right, if I just had to use my laptop, I'd be screwed. Like,
bro, that's when you know you become like a real like professional adult, when you like realize that like you need two monitors.
Yeah, man, that means you're in fucking serious business now.
Like real talk. Like you legit need it.
You're not just doing bullshit anymore.
No, yeah, like it's serious. When you know you need two monitors, that's when shit get real.
That's for sure, man. Shit, man, we got some interesting shit to talk about. It was a crazy wild card weekend, that's for sure.
Man, it was a good ass, like it was some good ass football games, some of them with some blowouts, but I think overall it was just a dog ass. I mean, I appreciate the whole 3-day slate of games. Like that was pretty dope.
Having it on Monday was awesome. It was really cool.
It was.
I enjoyed that. Let's see what
so I feel like we have to start out talking about this damn Cowboys game. Can we first just give appreciation to Tony Romo in the fucking like play-by-play like
Rostradamus? What do they call him?
Fucking he is amazing.
He is, man.
When he's calling games, bro. Like it is sick how he is able to like, okay, this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna run two. These receivers are gonna do double cuts in, and one's gonna like, bro, it's just fucking insane how he's able to see it. And like he's even like being able to just detail like, okay, based off of how the defense is lined up, it's just fucking insane, bro.
No, I totally agree. The only thing I don't like is when he gets a little too over the top with that fucking pen and he starts drawing over the screen. I'm like, all right,
I give you that.
Cut it out. I want to watch. Like I don't, But dude, it is insane. Like it's like every single play, he knows exactly what the fuck's gonna happen.
It's bro, his brain is just amazing. It kind of makes you think like why he never went into being like an offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
But he's probably like, listen, I don't got to deal with all that. I can sit here and call this game and be a fucking master at this shit.
Probably so fun, right? But it's like at any point, do you think he'd be called back? Like, I mean, he's obviously not now because of the racist shit. But Gruden was doing it for a while, and then it was like eventually, he was like, I wanted to go back. Like, I wonder if like at some point Romo will do the same thing.
I don't think I just think that rigor of football, it wears on some people. And I just think like what Romo's doing right now, as far as just with the announcing and then shit, he still get like a bunch of money from like the different promotions he do with like Corona and like,
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Like I feel like I don't think he would. If I was him, I would. Like I'm pretty sure he get paid well to just
what a life.
Call a game a week and do some promos, and then he good.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through that whole, just that rigorous schedule of the NFL.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that.
I would.
It's like boot camp. That game was crazy, man. Like that game was nuts. Started off all 49ers, and then Dallas started to kind of come back.
They did start to come back.
But that ending was nuts.
That ending is all it's just a culmination of just mistakes that Dallas were making, though.
I completely agree with you.
Right? Like the whole switch of players on that fourth down after they get the completion on the fourth down, then they forget to switch the offense back onto the field. Like what? I don't understand.
The worst was the thing too, and like I get like as a Cowboy fan, like you're probably really upset, but like that last play, man, it's like go give the ball to the ref. Like I don't want to hear like it's the ref's fault that you guys gave it to the center and he ran around with it and then tried to snap it before the ref has to touch the ball. Like that's on them. That's completely on them.
That's the rules,
right?
And they know this. So you can't get. I mean, you really can't get mad. And then not even that. Why are you running the ball with 13 seconds left?
Yeah. Like I understand what McCarthy was saying. Like we wanted. Would you rather have our last play be 4 verticals, like a Hail Mary from the 50, or like 5 out from the 25 or whatever? But it's like you didn't have the time, bro. Like you didn't work.
Think about it. Like they left the middle open, right? So if you as a player, the ball, we know ball travels faster by pass than by run.
Yeah.
Right. So you quickly get them same 14 yards that you're going to get. You probably only spend maybe about like, rather than the whole entire time, you maybe spend about like 8 seconds off the clock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not wrong. And then just
screwed.
Yeah, I agree. And then just stand there in the middle of the hashes and give the ball to the ref and like, let's go, clock it.
Right. You know what I mean? So I think that play call, like, and I don't know who that falls on, right? Does that fall on like Kellen Moore being the offensive coordinator and making that call?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's because I don't think it was designed. So I would say so, because it's not like Dak decided like, shit, I'm about to run this thing. Like, I think
he took off as soon as he got it.
Yeah. It almost worked. Like,
it almost did, but
not to say they would have scored, who knows, but like that, the drive before was nuts. Like with like the stop on the 3rd down. And then I'm trying to remember what happened after that. Did they try to run it on 4th and didn't get it, or what happened?
Yeah, they tried to run it on 4th and didn't get it. But
that man Deebo Samuel is a fucking beast, bro. Like insane.
And Jimmy damn near did everything he could to get that game away.
That's why there's no shot next round for them. Like it's just like
I'm gonna put it out there, and I know you've been hoping for this. Trey Lance gonna probably start the season next year as they starting quarterback.
I think so too.
Like, because the way that Jimmy played, and if he played like that. Like they're not gonna beat the Niners, bro.
No, the Packers,
especially because they don't. Or the Packers, and it's also too like they don't even know if Bosa's gonna play.
Yeah, I don't think he will. I mean, I haven't looked, but they were saying it didn't look good. So I don't, and that's huge for them. That pass rush is like,
and then insane. Do they even know about Fred Warner?
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on.
I know it was like an ankle thing, so he may have a better potential, but I don't know if Bosa's going to make it out of concussion protocol because they play they play Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah, I think Sunday. I think I can look. It was crazy though. Like that whole first half, like their defense was just killing the Cowboys, man. Like just causing false starts, sacks, hurries. Like Dak didn't look like he had any idea what to do. And to your point, I feel like the only reason he was even close is because Jimmy just played so mediocre in that second half. Like they couldn't even move the ball other than like when Deebo got it. Man, I can't get over that, Saturday. Dude. Okay, cool. Well, that's even less time for them to get better.
Yeah,
so.
I really doubt that Bosa would be cleared by then. But you said that. What were you going to say now?
Just Deebo, man. You watch him. It's like I don't even know. Is he a better running back than he is receiver? He was like top 5 in receiving this year. He runs the ball insane. Like he gets all these like long ass touchdown runs for it. It's just like I've seen him. Didn't he throw a touchdown pass? I don't know if it was that game or the game before, but it was like he is just.
It was the game before.
Yeah,
I believe it was the game before. I mean, I think he's just one of those players where like he's on the field and you have to account for him no matter what. Like he's just a player, right? Because you already know he's dangerous if he's in the backfield, but he becomes even more dangerous as a receiver because of his elusiveness. Because what did he have? Close to like 700 yards after catch.
Yeah,
that led the NFL this year. So like, dude is just a beast and such a fucking weapon. But you think about if Trey Lance matured as we would hope he would, right? And just his ability to run the ball, but also throw, them two paired up, would just be fucking insane.
It would, man. They could run a lot of like. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Like a lot out of the option with like him and Deebo and stuff like that. Like that would be because Trey Lance can get moving, boy. He's got some big legs. That dude, like Josh Allen. He gets going.
So I mean, but I'm that's my prediction for next year that he's gonna start the season.
Okay. I like that. And then they go up against Green Bay. We can keep analyzing this, but I'm gonna throw up. I got this pretty little picture here. How the fuck? Here we go. Look at that.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I just found that. I was like, let's go. There we go.
With the graphic.
So we talked about that game. Obviously, they're going to go play the Packers in the frozen tundra. I don't even think, even if the Niners are fully healthy, the only thing I can really think is like their D could maybe slow the Packers down a little bit, but I just feel like that's at least a 2-score win game for the Packers.
Yeah, and I think what also kind of affects it is the fact that like they're playing in Green Bay.
Yeah.
That cold is no fucking joke. It's
such an advantage for them, bro. Like, they play in it, like they just know what to expect. And especially coming from California, you're going from San Francisco to like that. That's crazy. So what do you think for Aaron, man? Like, because I heard Skip and Shannon talking about this today. How much pressure relative to his whole career is on him to like win this championship?
I think there is a decent amount.
I do too.
But I think the reason is it's not anything football related. It's just because of all the fucking drama that surrounded him this summer during the season with his whole, COVID stance and stuff. I think that just all of that extra drama that's not related to anything on the field is that pressure, right? To kind of silence those critics So yeah.
Do you think if he wins, does that put him like in like top 5 quarterbacks of all time?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, because I can't put him past like Brady or Montana just because of like their accomplishments. But like this would be, I think he's going to win the MVP this year, and that'll be 4. And then if he won this, and he'd probably win MVP. That'd be 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 4 regular season MVPs. Obviously, he's going to have like the numbers by the end of his career. Like,
yeah,
I don't think you can put him again like in the top 2, but 3 through 5, like I don't even think that's a question. And then if you're just basing it off eye test and skill, like him and Mahomes to me are the 2 most skilled quarterbacks I've ever watched.
For sure.
So
for sure,
if he wins this year, I got to put him in the top 5. He probably already is in the top 5 for me, but I just feel like it's got to be a consensus thing. If
that second championship would just like be that cherry on top where it's like there's no denying that he would be in that top 5.
No, exactly, man. Exactly. So, how about
that? Staying in the NFC and talking about
let's go down that a little bit. Fuck, that Rams Cardinals game was depressing for people out here, man. People were distraught.
I'm sure
distraught. Like.
And what's so sad is just like how hot Arizona started out. And I think, not having D-Hop just makes the world of difference to that offense.
Yeah.
Right?
You're right.
It makes a world of difference to that offense. And then Kyler Murray just unfortunately did not do himself any favor.
Yeah, we got to talk about that, man. Because I hate, I want to put this out there before I even say anything. I'm not a pro, I'm not even an amateur athlete. I can't, these dudes are amazing. I don't want to come off as a hater, but you got to ask, how much of that is is it do you put the blame on Kyler Murray? Was that just his bad decision making? I do think that pick 6 was unexcusable.
That was on him completely.
Too much time just sitting there. He's in the end zone, but basically in between the hash marks, not moving. And then I don't know. That just was whipped that. You
got to be better. You got to make smarter decisions, right? In that instance, what's worse? You frailing the ball like that, or just taking the safety,
right? Exactly,
right. You got to weigh the impact of that, right? It's 2 points, but the game is still going to be relatively.
I think it was 14-0 then. So
yeah, you know what I mean. So it's not going to be. It's still kind of a bit crazy, but it's still a 2-score game at that point.
Yeah,
but he did that, and it just.
So what do you think? Is it more on him? Is it more on coaching? I just seemed like an all around.
It was just all. They just were outplayed. That D line, that defense, all in all, was just they were flying. That's probably the best that I've seen them play. In a couple of weeks. That's the best Stafford had looked.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is Stafford looked like that, and Kupp didn't even have that good of a game.
No, Odell had a nice touchdown. That was
Odell looked nice. Higbee looked nice. That offense just clicked. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they do in Tampa Bay. But
Yeah,
My
because
pick is
this,
looking kind of good.
yeah, man, and we got to because this bracket got reorganized from our last episode when we kind of went through, because people won that we didn't
Yeah.
expect or make it in, so like what to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
back through. So we both have the Packers advancing, correct, to the
Yep.
championship. This is gonna be an intriguing game, man. The Bucks versus Rams for everything you just said. Like if the Rams, the biggest thing with the Bucks is like, can you pressure Brady? Because that's like when they fall apart. Like
Yep.
the Saints, as like mediocre as they were this year, we saw like they got constant pressure on Brady and it just like fucked with them. All 4 of his regular season games against them now. Like and now it's like who better than the Rams? Like they got Aaron Donald, now they got Von Miller. Who else they got? I mean they got such
Jalen
good
Ramsey.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean
like they're just they're some dogs. And like who's their coordinator? Is it Raheem Morris?
I don't know. I'm not sure who their D coordinator.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I want to say it's Raheem Morris. I believe I'm right.
Rams defensive coordinator. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, can they get pressure on Brady, man? Like,
yeah,
Raheem Morris.
Okay, that's what I thought. But then also vice versa on that. Like, it's the same thing with Stafford. We know this.
Yeah.
We've seen it for years.
Yeah.
You get pressure on Stafford and it's pick six city, right? Like just take it to the house because he's gonna throw one.
Yeah.
And we know Todd Bowles is a fucking mastermind of like timing up pressures and blitzes.
You're so right.
Places that you don't depict them to come from. Like he's amazing.
The most strategic blitzes you'll ever see, man.
Man, he is a like a fucking genius when it comes to it.
Yep.
And so yeah, I'm not sure. And so the thing is that like how do they do that with this Rams team that has more weapons than the Eagles?
The Rams. Oh yeah, the Eagles. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how do they match it up knowing that one is a better quarterback, and then 2, there's just more weapons.
Yeah.
And that the Rams can run the ball like they did. Like I think that was the thing that was the most surprising to me was how well the Rams ran the ball in that game against the Cardinals.
Yeah. Seriously. Because wasn't that what's his name's first game or a couple games back? He had like a ACL.
Akers.
Cam Akers. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was he looked amazing. Like that the whole entire
did you see that hit on Buda Baker, man?
Oh,
that was crazy, dude. Like as soon as he went down and his arm kind of like moved,
see that. I was
I always just think the worst, bro. That reminds me of like when a boxer gets knocked out like that, and you're just like, holy shit.
It was
like,
that did look bad, but
because Buda goes so fast and he just leads with his head like on every shot, and it's like
he got hit with that shoulder.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so
he's okay though. I heard he got released today.
Yeah.
Good,
That's good.
Whew. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. If I had to say, I mean, it's just going to be based on history. Like it's Tom Brady. The Bucs won last year, so they got championship experience. The Rams as a whole, the last like 5 years, have some good playoff experience. But like, then I look at Stafford and I'm like, he has none. Like I don't. I don't want to shit on him, but I'm going to go Bucs.
I'm going to stick with my pick.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with the Rams.
I hope you're right.
And I feel like this is going to be that game where they have to utilize Odell in his full skill set.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like whether it's off of some reverses, trying to figure out what he can do in the slot, like really, and so maybe if it's even him throwing a pass, but like if they utilize Odell in his full skill set, I think that could be the X factor in the game.
Okay. I like that, man. Yeah. If he does one of those reverses and throws a pass or something like that, you're going to need that, man, at some point. Like just to completely
especially just how aggressive the Bucs defense can get.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can catch him on one of those reverse passes.
No, I totally agree. That's going to be such a good game, man. It really is. Like, I'm very excited. I hope you're right. I would like to see the Rams win. It's so crazy about like halfway through the third quarter, I text my like friend group chat back home, was like, I just realized this is Stafford's first career playoff win. That's freaking crazy, man.
I mean, how can we talk about the fact that they even said this, I think before the playoff started, that Brady has more playoff wins than everyone, I believe, combined, if I'm not mistaken. And
Like,
I could be wrong.
every player or like every
Well,
team?
I think it's every player, as far as like the other quarterbacks.
Okay, yeah.
The other quarterbacks that are made it, that were in the playoffs, like he had more wins than all of them.
Yeah. He's also, aside from his coach, so all the other opposing in the NFC, he's the oldest.
Oh, yeah.
He's older than all their coaches. That's so crazy, man. All their head coaches.
Well, that's in the NFC, right?
Yeah.
Not the
Aside
AFC.
from his.
Because in the AFC is I'm drawing a blank.
What's his name? The Chiefs, Andy Reid.
Yeah, Andy Reid.
Yeah, and then I don't know about like Vrabel and them, but yeah,
Vrabel will have to be older than. Vrabel was on that.
Like 03 or 04 team or something like that.
Yeah, and he was there before. I would assume. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, but he's definitely older than LaFleur and then
LaFleur.
Why am I forgetting the Rams guy's name? McVay, Sean McVay.
Yeah, McVay, his own coach.
Who's the 49ers coach right now? Is it Shanahan? Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah,
he's older. That's crazy, dude. That's got to be a first for sure. All right, so we got Packers on one side, then you got the Rams advancing. I got the Bucks. I'm pulling for you on that one, man. I hope I'm wrong. It'd be cool to see. That'd be really cool to see, like, Stafford go to an NFC Championship game. That would be.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it'd just be dope just to see him have to go up against Aaron Rodgers again.
That would be cool. I didn't even think about that.
You got to go up against.
Like, I'm crewed up now, boy.
Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to go up against this old phone. Like, it don't matter where you go, Matt. You still got to go again. You still got to go through me.
Yeah, that'd be so crazy, man. Oh wow. So if the Bucks lose, Brady's coming back, I assume, right? I don't think there's any I don't think he's retiring after this year. Do you think there's any chance of that?
No, he's not retiring. You see, I mean, we talked about it. Hell, you were ready to make him a damn MVP.
Yeah, he was
so I don't think that he's gonna retire. He like shit after the year I had. We just need a couple more. We just need some receiver. Well, actually, they really don't need receivers. They just need some people healthy.
Right.
But like, let's run this shit back.
Right. Yeah. All right. Let's jump to the other side, man. That Chiefs Steelers game was like as lopsided as well. It was interesting. Did you watch that? The first quarter and a half, there was like no scoring.
It was ugly at first, and then I think what it really was is that the Pats started to settle themselves down. I think they were just like I think they really kind of came in, and even Roethlisberger said it that like they had no business being there.
Yeah.
And I think the Chiefs kind of felt like that. Like they could just kind of lackadaisically kind of go through this game and they would win the game.
Mm-hmm.
But once things started, like they actually started to hone in on it and it seemed like they took it serious, then they started to click.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, that was crazy. Just that first touchdown TJ Watt scored off that fumble. And I was like, whoa, 7-0. And then like they rattled off like 35 straight. And it was like, well, that was interesting while it lasted. Who is more exciting to watch than fucking Kansas City? Dude, I know like this has been the talk for the last like 3 years, but this year they've kind of flown under the radar because they hadn't been as good the first half of the season. But like just watching that game, man, like that last 10 seconds of the second half when Mahomes threw that 50-yard ball to Kelsey, or Kelsey's throwing that touchdown pass, I was just like, oh my God, like these guys are insane. It's like the Globetrotters.
And you know what's crazy is that it's not just Kelsey and Hill. Like now, like Pringle is really starting to get into it. McCole Hardman is really starting to and I think it's just making it more dangerous because even if you get to the point to where you're just honing in on Tariq and Kelsey, these other, and then they picked up the old. Remember Jerick McKinnon? Like he played for the Lions for like a couple years. Like
he did.
Dude looks so nice in their offense.
He does, bro. So does Gore. I don't know his first name, but that dude's a beast too. Both those running backs are tearing it up.
Man, so they're gonna be tough, man. I mean, it was a hell of a game last year, though.
It was, man. Yeah. So we'll talk about the game before that. Before we get to that, the Bills Patriots was the most surprising game of the postseason for me that round.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa.
I did not expect the Bills to look like that, bro.
No. Me neither.
Like, shit.
That's how I would have thought when we were talking about them in the offseason. I was like, the Bills are because
Yes.
but like they were such an enigma this year, right? Like they were like good games and bad games, and it's like, but we know now when they're like on, like what they can do.
They are dang. They
was like 7 straight
like
touchdowns.
Super Bowl, bro. They look like that Super Bowl contender, right? That we were predicting, and for them to be like bro, they didn't punt the fucking ball.
Nope. They scored the first 7 fucking possessions, bro.
He had more touchdown passes than he had incompletions.
Yeah. It is insane, man. Against Bill Belichick's defense. Like, it was crazy, man. Absolutely nuts. I don't have words for it. That did switch what we were talking about last week, though, because I think we had on that other bracket the winner of that playing the Titans. But since they're the 2 higher seeds.
Yeah.
So So what do you have? Bills or Chiefs?
I'm going to stick with my Super Bowl pick. That's why I'm sticking with the Chiefs.
Me too.
I still think that, like, I'm going to compare this Mahomes and Allen like rivalry much to how I would view like the Jordan and like the Jordan and Knicks.
Oh, okay.
Right? Or like they're both really good teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably shouldn't even say Jordan and the Knicks. I should probably say like Jordan and like Malone in the Jazz.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Both really good teams. One team may be better than the other, but one team, they both have superstars, but one person has that elite superstar.
The dude. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right.
See, I get what you're saying, like the Jazz or the Sonics or something like that. Like one
you know what I mean? Where it's just like they're good, they're gonna compete. It's gonna be a tough ass game or a series, but they have that guy.
Yeah. He's that dude, man. Again, that last play of the first half, I was like, and I hate doing this, but again, like because my group chat's always going back and forth, and I said this, I was like, this is what I'm talking about, dude. Like that play, he rolled out like it was like didn't have anything, just like on a dime. Like, I'm sorry, Tom Brady could never do that, bro. Like it's like, and he's a mate. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Like I know I'm a hater, but it's like, look at Tom Brady and like what he needs. He needs that perfect pocket, and then to step it, it's like, oh my Lord. Like he just rolled out to his right, like just nothing, and just like sidearm chucked like a 45-yard ball. Like I was like,
Allen did the same thing though.
Yeah, he's great, man.
Literally did the same thing. Was that the fourth quarter to Davis?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it was to Dawson. It was in the first quarter to Dawson where he rolled out to his right and just literally was almost close to being out of bounds and just flicked it to the end of the end zone and threw it to where his tight end can only get it. Like literally, beautiful. Pretty much the same play.
It was a dime, yeah,
bro. So it's gonna be a dog ass game, but bro, I just can't. Like they have that guy.
They do. But it's just like, and what's interesting, and I know it was the Steelers offense, but like the Chiefs defense looked good in that game, man. I was like, okay, so if they play like that, that's what Mahomes needs. Like if the Chiefs defense can start holding teams to like under 24, like 21 points, like that's like all Patrick needs. But it's like, can they? Because they've always been the liability, you know? It's like, what's their D going to do? I don't know, but I'm going to say the Chiefs just because they got Mahomes and they look fucking phenomenal, but it's going to be such a good game. I don't know what I'm more excited for, that one or the Bucks Rams. Both of those matchups are just awesome.
I'm going to say that Bucks Rams just because of the teams and I think Brady. I think but that's both matchups are just going to be some crazy ass matchups, bro.
Absolutely nuts, man. All right, and then this got switched, like we were saying. The Bengals ended up beating the Raiders. That was kind of like, I mean, it was a good game, but it wasn't very. The last half or the second half, there was like I think just field goals scored. I don't know if there was a touchdown. It was pretty slow. I think it was like 23 or 26-20 or something like that. 26-19.
Yeah, the whole second half it was
just field goals.
Nothing but field goals, but
But
I
that
think the
Jamar
biggest
Chase
thing
Burrow connection, man.
is
Ooh.
it's sick, bro. It's sick. And then Joe Mixon, like he
Coming
looked
alive.
nice.
Coming
Like, I
alive.
mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed with the Raiders. I mean, they fought, and I didn't know once they were down, like what was it, 20-6 after that Tyler Boyd touchdown. Like I thought they were done,
Mm-hmm.
but they came back in the second half and I got their touchdown before halftime, and then they tried to make it close, but just couldn't. But people were fucking pissed with uh that referee call
Yeah, they were.
because they thought that Burrow was out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
On that, was that a touchdown pass?
I think it was. Yeah, he wasn't out of
Yeah.
bounds though. It didn't look like to
No,
me. I
he
think
wasn't. He hadn't stepped out of bounds yet. He was still in bounds.
Yeah.
But people were pissed, and they even saying that like just based off of how they ref that game, like that crew was not refing
I heard
the rest
that.
of the playoffs.
I heard that. That was very like tight. Yeah. And I heard because there was a lot of articles about that the last week.
Yeah,
Because of that, and they were just bringing up the stats like the amount of flags on average every season and stuff like that. It was really interesting to look at. But I will say, in the article I read, it was up a little bit this year from last year, but it's still down like kind of significant from like 5 years ago. Like it's down like 3 flags a game or something like that. So it's better than it was a couple seasons ago, but they're saying that it was a little bit of a jump up this year than it was last year.
gotcha. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. There's some games like that one where like it really bothers me, but for the most part, I don't know. It doesn't really. It takes a lot for me to be like these refs are really fucking pissing me off today. I don't know.
I think the biggest thing that people is more so is not really the flags, but it's just the reviews.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
time
Like
consuming.
there has to be a more efficient way to do that where it doesn't take up so much time.
Well, do you think it's like why can't we have a review crew that's part of the referee crew so these refs that are reffing the game don't have to stop and go run to the fucking TV screen and look at it? It's like why don't we have refs or people that are already in there and just radioing out to them like no, it's a fucking completion or
right.
it's out of bounds.
I mean, they have New York that are actively watching the game.
Yeah.
And you can see replays.
Right.
So
yeah, that's a great point, dude. And it's like, especially like, I bring it up a lot, but like, go back to like, that's a great point because go back to like the Saints Rams when like the Saints and that pass interference thing happened. It's like, why couldn't it just come right from the league right there? Like, no, throw the flag. Like, that's clearly a fucking flag.
The fact that was never called is probably one of the most atrocious non-calls in fucking playoff football history.
Yeah. I don't want. Let's just move on.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want
heated again. But oh god, damn it! That one was yeah. Okay, but so tell me now that it's switched up because I told you I thought the Titans were losing no matter what, but that's because I thought it was going to be the Bills or Patriots. I'm gonna switch that now because I just think the Bengals are too young and like the Titans have been in the playoffs the last couple of years and they've kind of got like a system going. I really like the Bengals. I would prefer if they won because I like them, but I just don't think like I just feel like this is their babies in this, and it's going to take some time.
I think I'm going to be with you and stick with the Titans. One, I think they said Derrick Henry is getting really close to coming back.
I did see that, and I was going to bring that up. Is he? I don't know if that's confirmed.
Yeah, I
think
or not. They said that he's in contact now, like he can have contact in practice. So I think that just changes things. But I think that we have to keep in mind that like the Titans D we have to agree is better than the Raiders D.
The Bengals, you mean? Oh yeah, as far as like because they just played them, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And so they put up 26 on them in the second half. They didn't even score a touchdown, just field goals.
You're so right.
So like I'm just going to have to assume just based on that. The quality of work that they put this year, that the Titans will have a tighter defense, and will really be able to kind of hold Jamar Chase in. Yeah,
I would think so too. I mean, like in my opinion, it's like let Mixon run all over you. Just don't let Jamar Chase beat you over the top.
That's what gets them because that's what gets them That's what gets them going.
Yeah, right. And that blows the ceiling off. It's like contain him, let Mixon get what he wants up the middle, like, and just make sure Jamar does not get his. That's like the only thing I can really, as far as a scheme. And their D is better this year. Obviously, they won 10 games, but it's like I don't know how they're going to contain the Titans, especially if Henry comes back. That's just going to be like a field day.
Yeah.
So, if he comes back, that's going to be so intriguing. That's going to be crazy. I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting one.
Hold on, they said he passed his test to with contact practice. So he already had a contact practice.
Okay. So
he had a padded practice on Tuesday.
Okay. All right. Well, we both have the Titans. Do we both say we both said the Chiefs, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I assume we both have the Chiefs going to Super Bowl again, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't remember what you said last week. I think I said the Packers. Did you say the Rams are gonna?
So yeah, I have the Chiefs and Rams in the Super Bowl.
Okay, and I have the Packers, Chiefs. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Either of those would just be so intriguing, man. Like it's gonna be great action no matter what.
If it comes to fruition, and Green Bay has to and Green Bay plays the Rams, just how fucking like great is that from a story for Matt Stafford, right?
It is,
the fact
man.
that you no matter you still have to go through Aaron Rodgers and you still have to go through Green Bay to get what you want, and you've been having to go up against them for your whole entire fucking career,
forever, man. You're right. And then like you come back with an actual squad now, like that would just be
so. And I think that can play to his advantage. You think about it because he's played in Green Bay. He knows what that environment is like. The only thing he doesn't know what that's like is just at that level, right? With all the with so much at stake, but he knows how to play in Green Bay. He knows what it's like to play in that cold.
Yeah, exactly. That would I would love that. And like to be honest with you, if the Chiefs make it, I think we can all assume the 49ers are not going to make it to the Super Bowl. So like any of those other three on the NFC, like that's just an intriguing matchup. Like Stafford versus Mahomes, obviously the Brady Mahomes rematch, or Rodgers Mahomes to me would just be awesome because they're like the same dude.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. That'd just be. They're almost carbon copies of one another. Just Mahomes is a little bit more elusive.
Right. But there's only one. Honestly, I would be disappointed if like it'd be cool if the Bills went, but like if the Titans went or the Bank, like I would just be like, that'd be kind of like they're fun. But
I would rather see the Bengals than the Titans. I would tell you that because I honestly think that like if the Bengals get there, let's say they randomly, let's say like scenario where like the 49ers upset fucking Green Bay and like the Niners go up against the Bengals. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like having those young players with like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and then going up against like Debo and like George Kittle, like in this.
The Niners versus Bengals, that would be insane.
Like
bro.
How insane would that be, right? Like,
wow.
I feel like that would be. I don't. It won't be the most watched Super Bowl.
That's
just because of those markets, right? Especially just with those markets, but I think it could be interesting. I'd rather see that than like the Titans.
Yeah.
And like. The Niners. I don't know if I would watch that.
Bro, Cincinnati hasn't won a playoff game in 31 years. If they made it to the Super Bowl this year, that they would be wilding over there. They would be like, what the fuck happened, man?
Right.
Yeah. I take that back what I said about if the Chiefs make it, it's intriguing across the board who makes it in the NFC, because even if it's the Niners, that's a rematch of the Super Bowl 2 years ago. So that's I
think it's just a different set of players.
Yeah.
And I think that they like know that they know what to do against.
Yeah, Garoppolo. I would think so too. Hopefully you do.
And plus, I think their defense is a lot better than from 2 years ago as well.
Yeah, it is. Credit to them, man. I forgot what that coordinator's name is that went over there, who's really cleaned up Kansas City, but they look really good, man.
Coordinator is.
Yeah, I don't either, but he looks pretty good. All right. I don't know. You want to do some NBA?
Yeah, let's talk about the NBA.
Fuck, man. It's
guys are just KD's gone down.
I know. That's sad, bro. Well, that's what's interesting. We got to talk about that 4 to 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And Kyrie, that's like the big thing right now. He's getting pissed. And I almost don't blame him. It's like he's like, what? This isn't going to change my stance on getting vaccinated. That KD's gone, and like he went at it with that reporter. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that, but did you see? And I saw something this where, and I don't know if I talked about it last time, where there's some sort of option where the Nets could play Kyrie, but they would be fined for like every time that they played him. And
You're talking about playoffs or just in general?
No, like in general. And I think it would be to where it'd be a fine around maybe like a couple $1,000.
Why would you not? Yeah, I don't know.
So
take that out of Kyrie's fucking pay. Like, if it's like, honestly, it's like, okay, you're choosing not to, like, you can keep playing, but like, this is coming out of your pay because.
So I have to find that and maybe send it to you. But yeah, they.
That's intriguing.
I saw something where like they, that's like a potential where they could maybe, play him and just take a fine.
Yeah, I if that's the natural option, why not do it? You know?
Yeah.
Kyrie seems pretty, honestly, like level-headed about the whole thing when I heard him talking like his last interview about it. I don't think he'd be cool with it necessarily to getting the money taken away, but I almost feel like he'd almost understand that if they were like, all right, well, we're getting this fine, so we're just taking this out of your pay because you're choosing not to do it, and that's your choice, but this is the only way we can play. I feel like he'd almost be like, all right, cool. So
yeah, I mean
he's willing to sit out and just lose money, so it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. The one thing I appreciate with Kyrie and this whole stance is that he's not budging.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? So, and you take it for what it is. So, I mean, the fact that reporter even felt the need to try to go back and forth with him about something that he has been dead set on was kind of,
that was the thing.
One of those situations where like you as a reporter just need to pull back. You're trying to press a situation when he has clearly stated and made you aware that that's not changing. He hasn't given you any inclination that was going to change for him.
Yeah, you're saying basically exactly what Kyrie said. He's like, this is almost just disrespectful that you're even asking me this. Like, It's like, you know where I stand, and it has nothing to do with the game of basketball. And, we've talked about this before, but you'll have to go watch it or read like the quotes from it. But it kind of goes back to what we've always talked about. Kyrie's like relationship with basketball is so interesting because like there's no way he doesn't love it. Obviously, he works on his craft. He's one of the most skilled players I've ever watched, but like he's very aware of the fact that he's like, this is a fucking game. Like, I don't need this. Like, this is just like, it is what it is. Like, this is what I do. It's not who I am. And it's like, and he said that a lot in the interview. It was just very interesting,
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that is, so it'll be interesting just to see how that kind of folds, especially as other teams are starting to get healthy now.
Yeah.
Right? Like Miami they're healthy. Like, and I think they're tied for first in the East.
With Brooklyn?
They've been in Brooklyn's third. They're only a half game back though.
Who is it? Chicago's up there? Or
yeah, Chicago's up there, and they were on like a 3-game skid, or no, they're on a 4-game skid, and they've been getting popped.
Yeah.
But it's also, Levine went down. Remember, Levine went down. He's going to be out for like a couple of weeks as well. But I think we got to give a shout out to Javon. He kind of warned us and told us that the Cavs were coming, and they're nice, bro.
They are, man.
They are nice. They're sitting at 4th. Darius Garland for sure needs to be an all-star this year.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. What's he averaging? Like 20 points?
Yeah, he's averaging like 20 and 8. And did you see the other game? He put up like 18. He had 18 assists.
Yeah. He's a good point guard, man. He's just like a pure point guard.
Dude's been balling.
Is Sexton playing this year?
He got injured. I think he like tore like his ACL or something like that. So sucks, he's out for the rest of the year. But even with that, with their 9 games above 500, you know what I mean? Kevin Love's actually came back and started to look a little bit more like himself, where he's coming off the bench, but he's still being able to put up like 14 and 8.
Yeah.
Or he'll have some games where he gets hot. So having that veteran presence, but like they are so fucking long, bro.
They are, dude. Just athletic and big.
You think about it. They go outside of Garland, who's short, but they go Lamar Stevens, who was like 6'5", and then you go Markkanen, Mobley, and Jarrett. And all those guys are like 6'10" and taller.
Yeah. It's it's almost like one of those things. It's like teams don't know how to scheme for that because like there's not a lot of teams like that in the league, you know?
No, there aren't. There are none like that in the league where like you being that long and that agile, like defensively, they're insane. They're giving up 102.5 points a game.
Oh yeah,
I think that's like
exactly.
one of the best in the league.
Isn't that nuts? And then like early 2000s, like it was like good to score like 90 points in a game. Like and now like that's good to like hold them
Like
around.
102 points, you're doing great.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. What an evolution. Clay looks good. He had a good game last night.
I think he started to catch his like rhythm and
Yeah,
just getting that game action back.
5-on-5.
Yeah, so I think he's starting to look good. I think the biggest stories for me that what I want to see what ends up happening, of course, is this Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
What Philly decides to do with him if anything happens with him before the trade deadline.
I feel like you have to.
I mean, they're going to have to, but it's like who's going to give them what they want, or who's going to be able to break some middle ground with them? Because Daryl Morey seems like he's pretty set on like what he's asking for.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
So if that happens, it's probably going to have to be with the team that's kind of desperate, i.e., the Lakers.
Well, the Lakers, I don't know if they're desperate.
I would be.
As in the sense of Ben Simmons is not going to make them better.
Yeah. Really? I mean, if they traded Russ for him,
the only thing I say is defensively, he makes them better.
Yeah,
but
and
him
they're
and Russell
atrocious.
Westbrook are the same fucking player. He's just taller.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Definitely.
And at least Russ will shoot the ball. It may not be the greatest, but he'll shoot it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Especially with Bron dominating the ball. I don't know what Ben would even do in that offense. You probably just stand over there in the corner and just
it's going to be tough. He don't have post moves.
No, he doesn't, man. Yeah. It's like you'd almost say put him at the 4 or like at the 3 and have him just be like a slashing wingman. But it's like, it's crazy how much of that has even evolved to the point where like those players are almost extinct. Like you just have to be able to shoot now. Like you have to. It's just part of the game. And it's only been like that the last, since 2016, really? But like,
yeah,
it's kind of where it is now. You can't be like a dude that just is an absolute liability from outside of like 15 feet. And that's exactly what he is.
I mean, the only way you get away with that is if you're a big, like a true big guy.
Mm-hmm.
But we only have maybe around, I would say, truly like 4 to 5 big guys that have almost a similar skill set to Ben as far as like them having a ball in their hands a lot.
Yeah.
Right? With Giannis, with Joel, with Jokic, like those guys are really the only type of players where they have the ball a lot in their hand and they have like some of the ball handling skill.
Would you put Ayton in there?
I would put Ayton. I would put Cat though. I'll put Karl Anthony Towns in there, who's been low key having an all-star season.
Yeah, I mean he's great, man. It's just always been like either the lack of talent around him. Like I don't know, like I'm not gonna, it's just. But
honestly, I don't say that. Like they're not right now. They're sitting 7th.
Yeah, that's fantastic for them.
You know what I mean? They got an actually decent squad. You got Anthony Edwards. They got D'Lo.
Yep.
I feel like they got some there. They just have to get better defensively. They get up 109 points. Like Jesus.
So what do you think the Lakers need to do? Just wait for AD or like? And what's the story with him? Is he still just out?
He's supposed to be returning. I think they said they're hoping to have him back by the end of the month.
Okay.
So they don't have the shooting that they were thinking that they were going to have.
No.
And that is really hurting them. Not to mention, I mean, they give up 113 points a game.
Yeah. Can't do that.
Like, and the thing is that you would think that they would be a lot better with, I mean, you got Bradley. Russell Westbrook is a decent defender. You got Bron. You got AD. You got Dwight Howard. You got Trevor. Now, Trevor Ariza just came back into the fold. So that may shift things. But
I was going to bring up Howard, man. Like, it seems like he's been like a shell of himself this year. Like, it's just not what they were expecting bringing him back to do, and I liked him, especially in their championship run. Like he did exactly what they needed from him. Just play good D, get blocks, get boards. And it's like, I don't know, his productivity just doesn't look as good this year.
Yeah. And it may just be the fact that he's just playing too many minutes.
Could be.
Like he maybe can't do it at that, the same amount of that same stint, but so the other situation that I think is going to be interesting is Portland.
I was looking at them before you hopped on, man. Yeah, it's insane. Like just how bad they're doing as a team. And it's just, you look at like the stats and it's like, and Dame's still doing 24 a game. CJ's averaging 20 a game. It's like they're getting theirs, but it's just not translating to.
Well,
anything.
CJ's been out since like November.
Mm-hmm.
Dame just went out a couple of weeks ago with an abdomen surgery, and they don't know when he's going to be back.
Oop.
And Anthony Simons has been balling.
Yeah. Was he putting up like 18 a game, 20 a game?
Yeah, so he's been hooping. So I think that kind of gave them a clear inclination of we can split from either Dame or CJ and still have a really good backcourt.
Yeah.
Now you're just having to make the decision on who that you give up.
It's tough because, you go CJ and it's like, then if you give away CJ, then you keep Dame, who's obviously like a bona fide top 5 or 6 point guard in the league, but then you could get more if you gave up Dame. So it's just like,
Yeah. And then you also kind of lose that marquee player.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right. Like people come to a Trailblazers game to see Dame and see him launch these 30-foot bombs. Right.
Yeah.
But do you get that in the essence of being able to get Ben Simmons, who you can still kind of market a game around that can probably fill some holes, especially defensively.
Well, where does he line up if like CJ and Silas are like, if he, like, is he going to be the 3? Like what?
So I would say you can have him bring the ball up and have Simons and CJ be like, just be those shooters that they are, right? Be their wings or whatever. And then just defensively, he's just picking up, that 4 or that 3 spot or whoever that better player is. So I think you can absolutely do that. Especially, that could be pretty dangerous in the open court.
Yeah. I just think McCollum needs the ball in his hands more. I know he's injured right now, but it's like every time I watch them together, it's like they're both just players that need the ball as far as him and Dame. And like CJ's been forced to be more of the wing, the 2, but it's like, I feel like he'd benefit more. And like, I'm not saying he'd be amazing and he could lead a team to a championship, but like he looks like a 1 to me, like a scoring 1. That's what he reminds me of. Cause he doesn't look to just catch and shoot. He can, but it's like, he wants to put the ball on the floor and like get to the mid range and do his thing.
Yeah. I think that's where, like, I think Ben Simmons can definitely, let's say that trade happens and Dan goes to Philly and Ben Simmons goes there. I think that can work. Right. Because Ben has just been initiating the offense, but then CJ can just go to work.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be crazy. Dame and Philly with Embiid, that would be nuts.
That'd be
nuts. And then they would have 2 marquee players. Like they would just be loaded.
And then and this is be one of the first times where Embiid would have a true point guard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, and I shouldn't say a true point guard because Dame is more of a scoring guard. But he has a guard that he can rely on that can get a bucket, get a shot. He hasn't really had that.
Right. Like true point guard in the other sense, because Ben Simmons is like too much of a true fucking point guard. All he wants to do is pass the ball. But no, you're right. Like a star guard that he can like rely on to shoulder some of the scoring load or more so,
Yeah.
Like it's or equal. I could see both of them putting up 25 a game if they're on the team together,
Easily.
So it's like
And then you start to think like now that really frees up Embiid, right? Because you run that pick and roll with Dame and Embiid, right? And it's like, okay, so are you double teaming Dame so that way he doesn't get that advantage coming off that screen? Or are you trying to sit back so that way you kind of protect from that role that Embiid may have? Like it puts you in a really tough bind defensively on how do you defend that pick and roll between Joel and Dame.
Yeah, it's like you can't. With Simmons coming off of it, off like the high screen, he's either passing the ball or he's trying to get to the rack, you know? So it's like
Right.
with Dame, he can pull anywhere, 30 feet
Yeah.
or in. Like, so it's
Exactly. So it just puts so much pressure. And then now Embiid has more space to work because you can't help off of Dame. You can
no.
maybe help off of Tobias, but he's still probably he's a really good shooter still. Like then he's just you're not helping off of stuff like so it's like it's tough.
Oh
He
man.
completely changes that whole entire dynamic, bro. If he gets over there.
Yeah. I mean, like that completely understood. Like for Philly, that's a heartbeat trade. Like they shouldn't even consider just straight up for those two. But I just wonder if Portland would do that. Dame for
Well, I think they had to
Ben.
throw in another player from Philly side because Dame makes more
Yeah.
just to make out the salaries work.
But if they could keep
But
those other starters, like Seth is a baller, man. Like Seth,
he is, and he just
yeah,
helps. It just works with their offense because they need that
yeah.
shooting to give Embiid that space he needs.
Did Seth play in Portland for a year?
Yeah, he played in Portland.
So he's
Remember,
got
because him
chemistry with
and
Dame. Yeah.
yeah, because he had that series where they played against the Warriors, and he was having to play D against Steph.
Yeah.
So the Pistons we almost had a trade. We almost had one.
Did we?
We almost had Bobo.
I saw that. It didn't go through.
No, he didn't. He didn't pass his physical.
So what is he just like a free agent now, or is he still
No,
in
he's
Denver?
he's still with Denver, but he didn't
What?
pass his physical.
As far as what? Like I don't. They
I
don't
don't
know.
know, but they said that like that happens a lot of times where players will like intentionally not pass the physical so they don't have to go somewhere. Which I don't know if that like my thing is that like that wouldn't make sense on his part because I feel like he could have came here and actually showed what he can do rather than sitting behind, the
Jokic
gauntlet of players that he's
and
trying to get through to play. Because the dude really gets on the court. At least here he'd have got a chance to get on the court, play some, and see how he worked.
yeah, I'm totally with you, man. It'd be interesting. I would like to see it because in college, he come from Oregon, I'm pretty sure, but like he
Yeah,
could put the ball on the floor, he can shoot.
defensively it was great. So I mean, yeah, I think it could have been something kind of in the works, but it didn't work out. But
That's so bizarre. I wonder what it was. Yeah, I wonder like if you said if it was like intentional or what the deal was there. Huh. That would have been he fits in perfectly with everything the Pistons are trying to do too. Just get these like young athletic players that have promise,
yep,
I don't know.
yep. Are you gonna watch the fight this weekend?
Yeah, we got to talk about that, man. What's so interesting about that? I don't know if I am. Maybe. I think I'm going to Sedona this weekend. So we'll see.
Okay.
Maybe if I can find somewhere up there that's got it. But I was looking before you hopped on, man. Right now, Cyril Gain is minus 155. He's a favorite.
Okay.
I was like, what? I was like, is this like a typo? And like, no, like they have him favored against the guy. So I don't know what that is. If they just think like if it's a motivational thing or Ngannou's just old, I don't know. But he is favored to beat Ngannou right now. So that's huge. Like that's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna look again right now. But I was looking at it like he's a minus 155 favorite.
Oh yeah, I just saw it. Yeah. Wow.
So like, what do they know? Like what? Like I never would have thought that. And I still got to predict Ngannou just because I don't know much about Cyril Gain. I know he's 10-0 and he looks like a beast. Like he's a really good striker, but like that's crazy to me.
I mean, he matches. I mean, as far as just like their measurables,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they match up pretty damn well. Ngannou's just a bit heavier, but
Yeah, so both 6'4". Ngannou's got him, on like 15 pounds. Ngannou's got him by reach by 2 inches. What's their ages? I don't know what their ages are.
let's see.
But
Ngannou's 35.
that's pretty old, actually.
Cyril Kane is 31.
Okay.
So it's not like he's that much younger.
No, but I mean, I guess like 35 and up in any sport, like you're kind of out of your prime. I don't understand that. That's crazy to me. That's absolutely nuts. I mean, I assume you think Ngannou's going to win.
Oh man.
I know, bro.
Wow.
I was looking at that before, like kind of just writing notes.
But
And I
it's
was
also,
like,
I mean, maybe it's just a situation where like maybe because when's the last time Nagano fought?
since he knocked out Stipe, I'm pretty sure. Like when we first started the pod last year, like last spring. I
Yeah,
don't
so
think
it's
he's
been a
fought since he
minute.
won the title.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So maybe that's just it. Maybe it's just the inaction that they're thinking um is going to
Yeah.
affect it, right? Like maybe they're just thinking it's something that he's maybe just rusty.
So that was like 10-ish months ago by the time of fighting that, because he beat Stipe March 27th of 21. So yeah, that was like almost 10 months. Yeah, almost 10 months exactly. So I mean, I guess it's not a ton, but yeah, it's 10 months. I don't know how active Gain's been. Let's see when Gain fought last. He fought in August and he fought in June. So yeah, he's fought twice
Okay,
since
I
then.
mean, maybe that's just what it is, and it's
I
just
think he beat Derek Lewis. Didn't he beat? Yeah, he beat Derek Lewis, KO'd
okay.
him. Yeah, I mean, he's won his last 5. It'll be interesting, man. I don't know. And like maybe also Nagano's like, you hear it like all he's talking about now is like he wants to box. Like he's like UFC's like not paying me. Or I don't know if you've heard this, but he's been saying
Mm-mm.
like, I guess he's borrowing money for training camp. Like that's what he's revealed. He's like,
I think you told me that last
yeah,
time we spoke. Yeah.
yeah. So that's what he's saying. He's like really fed up with it, and he keeps saying now like, after this, like at some point, I need to go to boxing. And I'm going to fight Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. That's like what he keeps saying. So
There is no way that they would let him just jump right in and just fight one of those two.
no, I don't get that either.
Oh, did you see that there's a rematch?
Huh? With who?
I think you already said it with Joshua.
And Usyk?
Yes.
Yeah, there is one, but I don't know when is it
I
scheduled?
thought-
Is it coming up?
I thought I saw that it was scheduled. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, they I saw that they're supposed to come across it unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, I want to know when that's scheduled. I got to watch that. That's gonna be an interesting fight.
But continue with what you were saying. Sorry.
I, when I heard it, I was like, that's, I wouldn't, I think Wilder Fury would probably win considering they've been boxing forever, and
Yeah.
Ngannou hasn't. And then, but I was like, but I entertained it. I was like, this could be something. And then I was looking at the measurables, and I don't know if like Ngannou just looks huge in the UFC, like, and so I just thought he was up there with their height. He's 6'4", which is big, but like Tyson Fury's 6'9" and Deontay Wilder's 6'7". Like I think he would get
Big
fucking
dudes.
crushed,
And
like,
that reach, their reach would be something.
yeah.
So
Like,
they have it. Sorry, go ahead.
I just feel like he would get lit up. I didn't, for some reason in my head, just looking at Ngannou in the UFC, I thought he was like their size. He looks like he's like 6'6",
I mean,
6'7".
he towers over everybody.
Yeah,
Right?
but I guess no, he's only 6'4", so he looked like a baby compared to Tyson Fury.
He's like those guys are literally like they're NBA players. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
They're huge. So a boxing promoter, Eddie Hearn, said that we can expect a rematch between Joshua and Usyk to take place in either March or April.
Cool. I'm watching that. I'm buying that. To me, man, that is going to be so interesting because that's a rematch I actually do want to see, because now that I'm thinking about it, this is determining for me, like Anthony Joshua's legacy. Like if he loses this, like I'm kind of like, I'm not going to shit on him, whatever. Like I respect all that, but it's like, I'm done. Like that's it. Like
The luster has came off and it's just not there.
Yeah, exactly.
He just seems to like wet the bed in the most awkward situation.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. It's like when the going gets tough, he kind of just like, he doesn't want to get dirty and like grind his teeth and be like, all right, I'm gonna grind this win out. He's like, I'm done.
Like it's just like he gets down and then it's like there's just no fight. And like I think you said, we talked about it, like at least with Wilder, like he, like you said, he wants to go out on his shield and he gonna continue to fight, right? Mm-hmm. But with Josh was like he gets down and this, like he just like, what is going on? What's not working? Like, you know what I mean? That's how
you're so right, man. That's exactly how it looked with Ruiz. And it, like, even though he didn't go down against Usyk, like when I watched the fight, because I rewatched it after, it was the same thing you're saying, but he didn't go down. It was almost like he was just flustered, and then it was like just nonchalant autopilot after that. And Usyk kind of just took control of that fight. I don't know if he wins this fight, then it's like, yeah, okay, like that's actually pretty cool. Like you've been out twice and came back and won, and that like you said, like the luster's not gone at that point. In my opinion, he's still He'll be undefeated in the 2 fights that he's lost. He's avenged, and it's like that's still interesting whether he fights Fury or Wilder. But like, if he loses this, fight at that point, the only person I want to see him fight is Wilder. That would be intriguing because they've talked a lot of shit to each other. But like, the him and Fury thing is done.
But I would want to see Wilder fight somebody else before he gets in the ring with Joshua.
Yeah.
I just need to see him. I just need him to see him get his confidence back.
Yeah. I mean, but and I think he would, man. I think he would tune up anyone other than Tyson Fury. Like, I think he'd knock out Andy Ruiz. I think he'd knock Ruiz out.
You really
within
do?
3 rounds. I'd almost put money on it.
Yeah,
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I just look at the history of him. Unless he's getting older and he's declining, like even with Fury, like the only dude he's lost to is Tyson Fury, and he's fucking cracked Tyson Fury like multiple times in each, and it's like just through the work of God, Fury's gotten up. But like no one else gets up, bro.
With the faith of a mustard seed.
Yeah, man. No one else gets up. Who else
like,
gets
you're right,
up?
Nobody else gets up.
Their eyes roll to the back of their head.
That one, I thought he was flatlined. I thought he was done, bro.
Yeah. And that'll live in infamy for Tyson Fury's legacy. Just seeing him get up from that and just be like, I'm cool. Like, it was what the fuck, man? Like, I had a friend, we were watching that fight together, and we came back from the bars and he was wasted and he was puking like the whole fight. He was like out of it. And I just remember this so vividly. I was like on the phone with someone, saw Fury get cracked, and my friend who had been like out of it the whole night was like, holy shit, he knocked him out in the 12th round. I was like, what the fuck? And then he got up and fucking went back. It was just like, that was such a vivid memory for me, that 12th round, dude. Like that was that, I'm sure Fury will talk about that forever too. Like that's got to be such a defining moment for him.
I mean, it kind of just, it makes your career, right? And just it catapults you into a certain like stratosphere. Right. When you're able to do shit like that. So
exactly, man. And that's back to the Joshua point. Like Joshua's not going to get up after that and continue to he might get up somehow, but then he's going to just dance around, and he's not like Fury went after Wilder after that, like I don't know.
Have that in him.
Really quick, did you see, speaking of boxing, Crawford suing Top Rank and Bob Arum, his promoter?
I didn't read all the way into it, but I did see it. So what was the whole thing?
He's claiming like racial bias and saying that Bob Arum, who's been a boxing promoter forever, since like the Muhammad Ali era, like he's pretty old. I think he's in his mid to late 80s. Just saying that he favors Latino and white fighters and gives them more opportunities than like the black fighters that he's promoted. And Bob Arum saying that's ridiculous. Like I've been championing fighters of color for fucking decades, like, so they're kind of going back and forth. I don't know if anything's going to be made of it, but I did see that today and I was like, whoa, that's kind of interesting. I guess it started because if Top Rank couldn't get the fight made last year with Errol Spence and Crawford, out of good faith, they were supposed to pay Crawford like a bonus in his contract or something of like $900,000. And I don't think they did. That's what I read on the ESPN article. But again, who knows what the truth is. So yeah. Interesting shit, man.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah. And that's then crazy, what you sent me too, Stevenson and Valdez, that's gonna be a good fight.
That is gonna be a pretty good fight.
This is gonna be like Stevenson's, his last fight against Jamal Herring, kind of like, I think that was up there as one of the fights of the year, but that kind of really boosted him into like he's like a star now. If he wins this fight, he's gonna be like, probably a top 10 pound for pound, like a superstar.
Yeah, he started gonna get up there and start to get, I think, more name recognition. You know what I mean? To where he'll start to kind of be more on like those pay-per-views. And really start to make some noise.
I agree. And if he wins that, because he's a junior lightweight, I think then he's got to move up and go to the lightweight division and just join that whole roster.
He has to get in that mix. He has to get into that mix. If he wants to be really a pound for pound, he has to get into that mix, bro. But he's so young.
He is.
He's so young.
He is, man. But it's like, I don't know. There's other young dudes in there that we could see. And maybe for boxing strategy, like they don't want to put young fighters against each other too early and let their fighter lose. But like, there's so many young fucking lightweights right now, like Ryan Garcia and Tank. It's like if Stevenson went up into that mix, like all those fights are just so intriguing, man. You know? So.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I feel like that'd be a dog ass fight between Garcia and Stevenson.
Yeah. Both of them are very more like tactical too. So like it'd be, I don't know what happened. All right, man.
Tank would destroy Garcia.
Yeah, well, Garcia's like fucking around right now. I think he's hurt. I don't know what's going on with him. Like, but he hasn't scheduled a fight since like that Luke Campbell fight last year, which he impressed me in, but like he hasn't fought since. I don't know what the fuck's boxing's weird, bro, because it's not like other sports where it's like you're on this is your season, you're on a schedule.
Right, you
like,
go at it. Yeah, it's
really like
weird.
whenever fucking contracts are made, you're just sitting around until whenever.